This is my video where I'm going to be talking about the Briscycle app. In this video, I'm going to describe some of the key decisions that were made in the development of this app, my involvement in the team, and some of the research behind the project that we did. I'm going to show you some video clips of the demos that we produced, as well as the prototype. Which was created by me and Ryan. This is the home page where initially you see progress of the items that you've recycled, a stats page, and this kind of gives you a feel of the interface that you're going to see. So we have the recycling stats up here and the weekly and the wheelie bin stuff. You can click each recycling bin and sort things out. So you can see what kind of things go in green bins, for example, and different materials that would go in black bins. We have a little link here where the game is going to be, as well as a search bar for specific items that you'd want to recycle. We have the map screen, which shows you where your nearest recycling stations are, and as well as a QR scanner. Now, what this QR scanner does is it will scan a code on an item, and it will tell you what materials are in that item and which materials go in which bin, which you can then see in the sorting bin. It's also, this is where users can track their weekly, monthly, or even yearly usage, which will show the users what materials they have recycled in each bin. It will allow people that are more experienced at recycling to keep track of how well they're doing. Making the prototypes I was in charge of developing a mid-fi prototype, A/B testing, and coming up with a new color scheme that would fit the choice. So with the color palette, I went for a more green, a more dark green combined with gray, as it kind of has a resemblance of people associate recycling with dark green, and then kind of an industrial feel to it with the gray. So as you can see, we've gone with that theme throughout the second version. As a result of the A/B testing, we decided that this version was good enough to promote to the mid-fi prototype. So this is a quick feel of how this looks as well. So the colors are a little bit more thematic, in my opinion. Code scanner demo video. This is the fully functional video, which shows how the user can scan the barcode and then receive information about that item, which corresponds to each material and what bin it needs to go in. Very simple to use and a nice little feature that we've added onto this app. Now moving on to the interactive and educational game that we provided for the app. This is the Briscycle run game, which is kind of a Subway Surfer themed game, which enables the users to collect the items that they need to collect for the corresponding bin, and also gives the user a little bit of a fun aspect, which would be useful for a younger audience or people who are just inexperienced with recycling and just want to use the app for a bit of fun. As you can see, it's easy to use and can be quite addictive as well when keeping score. To go with a mobile app to combat the problem of recycling, as we thought it would be useful to have an informative hands-on guide for the user to have. We felt that the current information provided by the Bristol City Council was too vague and not quite attractive enough to encourage inexperienced recyclers to use the website. We thought an app would encourage usage in new users. So to back this up, we conducted some research where in a poll we asked if anyone had had any collection issues or if anyone thinks that they are good at recycling. So how much do you think you understand recycling? Over 50% said yes, which would suggest that maybe that more people than we thought do know how to recycle. However, when investigating further in our questionnaire, we found that a lot of the people that took part in the quiz at the end did put a lot of the wrong materials in the wrong box. So this proved that there was an incentive for this kind of thing. To the idea of an informative app, we were met with some quite positive feedback as we included a fresh idea. However, one of the main pieces of criticism that we needed to reflect on was how we were going to persuade experienced recyclers to use the app. To combat this, we came up with a variety of ideas. And the weakness of the group, you could argue, was that we had so many ideas on the table, we didn't know what to do with them all. So I came up with the idea that we could include statistics in a kind of Monzo app theme where users can keep track of what they're doing. Ryan came up with a good idea, which was to include an interactive game to entice the user into a more fun aspect. And Jack came up with a useful feature where you could scan a barcode, scan a QR code, and find out which materials corresponded to what bin. So in the end, we integrated all of these ideas into the same app in order to meet the needs of inexperienced and experienced recyclers.